Hi, Prepper and katzcradul here. It's Saturday, and my dad got called into work. He doesn't usually have to go into work on Saturday, but today he had to. So, my mom and I were trying to think of something special we could do for him. And what dad doesn't love cookies? So we decided to make a healthy and loaded full of delicious stuff, a hearty cookie. So, we're going to give you the ingredients, but you don't have to worry about amounts while you're watching the video. They'll all be down in the description box below the video. So, we start with butter, and we have brown sugar and white granulated sugar, 2 eggs, vanilla extract, oatmeal, cinnamon, pink salt. This is sea salt, but you could use regular table salt. This is baking soda. We have chopped dried cranberries, wheat germ, whole ground flaxseed, chopped walnuts, and chocolate morsels. We're going to start by whipping the butter. That is, as usual, when you're making cookies, you start by beating the butter, and then we're going to go on and add the 2 sugars. When those are incorporated, then we're going to add the eggs one at a time until those are incorporated as well. Then we'll add the vanilla.
Yep, we'll go to that point. Good job. Yep, that's ground flax meal in case you missed that. And we're going to go ahead and whip the butter, add the sugar, the eggs and vanilla, and then we'll come back and show you from there. Okay, good job. All right, we've done what we said we're going to do. That's the butter, the sugar, and the eggs. I've also put the salt and baking soda in while the mixture was running because I wanted that to mix very well. And what I like to do when I see that those ingredients are this wet and I'm going to be able to just stir the rest of the ingredients in, is I don't put the rest of the ingredients in running the mixer. Mostly because I don't like to develop any gluten if I'm using flour. But in this case, I don't want to tear up my cranberries too much. I don't want to tear up my morsels. I want to just fold those in. And this is all going to go in just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and stir in the oatmeal and the cinnamon. There it is. I only spilt a little bit, Prepper. Nice and wet. There we go. I'm not going to mix too much now. I'm going to put the rest of the ingredients, this whole plate of these yummies, walnuts, cranberries, chocolate chips, flax meal, wheat germ, and I'll show you how simple that's going to be.
And katzcradul explained to me, I was asking why it was so wet before she had it all the dry, and she said, well, we do have a lot of dry ingredients, so it needs to be so wet to accommodate for the dry.
Yeah, and these are some really, the ground flax meal and the wheat germ, even the oatmeal are really going to take up a lot of that moisture. And for those of you who are new, I'll teach another little concept here. Usually, when you bake cookies, you can substitute butter for shortening or shortening for butter. Both of them have great qualities. The butter adds a lot of flavor and is particularly delicious. It will make a moister cookie. Shortening is more economical, and it will make a crisper cookie. I've also found that the shortening cookies seem to stay fresher longer, so it's up to you. I could have substituted, and probably should have. You could do, in this you could have done half butter, half shortening. I could have done all coconut oil, that's what I was thinking I probably should have done, was done half butter, half coconut oil. But here we go. That's how the dough looks. It's nice and dark because of the cinnamon, but you can see it was easy just to stir together. Now I'm going to use what looks like a little ice cream scoop, but it's a little cookie scoop, and get these on my cookie sheet, and we're going to show you how they turn out once they're done. We'll be back in just a bit. Okay, you will notice our batter looks slightly different. When we turned off the camera, I asked Prepper A, I said, did we forget flour? And she said, yeah, we did. So now we've added the flour. We're just going to stir that in. You know, some people may freak out like, whoa, they're not using the mixer? You know, how did women make cookies in the 1800s? They didn't have a mixer at all. So there we go. I'll get the flour incorporated, and then we'll show you how they look after they're done. We'll be back in just a minute. All right, here we are back. It's late in the evening. Paladin Prepper's home from his overtime, and we just finished watching the movie Farmageddon, and I'm going to let them try the cookies and tell you what they think. So you guys go ahead. They're crunching away.
Oh, that's so good.
Mm. Mm.
Can you hear them crunching?
Oh, that's great.
What were you going to say when I sent you in there to open up the container? What were you going to say?
Oh, in fact, when I went, and they're so good, and in fact, when I went and opened the container, I was blasted with the amazing aroma of chocolate, walnuts, and cranberries. It just smelled so good.
How would you describe them?
There's a light sweetness. It's obviously a hearty cookie, and you can taste the faintness, the faint nuttiness of pecans. I believe it's pecans.
Walnuts.
What I'm flavored.
Walnuts.
Oh, it's walnuts and chocolate chips. But that's what I like. I like a hearty cookie. It's not overly hearty, but just enough. You really feel like you're getting some substance. But it's delicious.
This is a really good cookie that's loaded with lots of things that are good for you. I think you'll like it if you give it a try.
Definitely. Awesome, awesome cookie.
Yep. Let me know what you think. Katzcradul.
Paladin Prepper.
And Prepper.